live. Yeah, I want to call these episodes. We are live. We are hanging out. We are milking a goat. We have my wild wife here, and we are just getting right into it. The goats and cows are going crazy. We've been milking Mimi. This is Mimi and Faye. And yeah, Mimi is definitely the easier goat. She's more experienced with this now. We've been doing it a lot more. The mosquitoes are probably bugging her a little bit. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to be on mosquito duty. Let me try to flip you guys around. Say hi to everyone else. Let's flip you guys around. And I will be on mosquito duty. And I'll give her some grass. Here. She really likes whatever this is. The leaves off of this plant. And so we're just going to hang out here and do our thing. Milketh our goat. This is kind of soggy. You don't want more of this? Let's get you some fresh grass. So anyway, we're having a lovely night. We just did a video talking about the differences and kind of pros and cons and which one's better between ducks and chickens. So we are going to edit that up and we'll get that out in the next day or two. Just our thoughts and our personal experiences having both ducks and chickens. Which one is better? So stick around for that coming in a couple days. We also changed up our logo a little bit. So if you guys hop on and you're a little bit confused, just mixing things up. When I first started the channel, it's called My Wildlife because we do a ton of outdoor wilderness stuff, and we spend a lot of time doing stuff with wildlife. Hunting and fishing.
We didn't have this property when you started it up.
When we started it, we didn't have this particular property. And now it's kind of evolved more into our homestead. Oh, we're done this one. Faye's next.
Yeah, I'll go get Faye. This way, dear. Come on.
Mimi, go that way. Okay, time to switch up goats. And so anyway, beautiful day. Super hot. It was cold this morning. It's very hot now. Oh, so we're going to milk the other goat, and then I got to do some repairs on the boat motor. Got to swap out some relays, and then I need to water the apple orchard. So once we're done milking the next goat, we're going to go down by the lake. We're going to get that boat up and running good, and then we're going to go down to the apple orchard, and we're going to get that watered. Why do you want to know my name? Says, hi, sir. How you doing, buddy? I want to know your name because you have a name that makes me want to know your name. It's like, don't push the red button. I'm going to press the button. Are you willing to share your name? That is the question. We're just hanging out here, about to milk another goat. We've got Faye right there. She's about to get milked. There's Elsa, her singleton baby. And we've got Evie over here just chilling, getting a little tangled. Evie, do you need help? Nope, you're good. You're good. Having temporary electric fencing is awful when you have goats because they're not as... I don't want to say they're not as smart as cows because they are smart, but they're a little more headstrong. And so when they get shocked, instead of backing away, they just run through it and they can break it. So why do you want to know my name? Says, I'm a sub to you. Thank you. If you got any questions or you want to chat about anything, that's what we do. We keep this live stream legit, real time, and we go back and forth. We have these conversations. We meet new people. We make new friends. My name is Justin. My wife, Mariah, is rounding up the other goat. And the sun is beating hot. You can see the glare off my face. She is toasty today. Just call me KJ. I will, KJ. Thank you for sharing your nickname. And Ajaz Ahmed says hi. How you doing, buddy? Hope you guys are having a good day or night, depending where you live. We are up here in northern Canada. It is the very far north where it's going to stay sunny for quite a while. Yet that sun is beating down hot,
Make
hot,
sure Lily
hot.
doesn't eat this, please.
Yes. So Faye is not as used to being milked as Mimi, and so we got to bribe her with some treats and keep her calm that way. Mimi, she's good the whole time. You can milk her. She'll just eat a little bit of grass if you're feeling like giving it to her, but she's super chill, easy to milk. Faye's going to kick and buck a little bit. She's new to it. Mike says hi from Sweden. Hello, Mike. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to Northern Canada. We are at our homestead. This YouTube channel is called My Wildlife. And our homestead is called White Pines Homestead.
No, this way.
And we are about to milk a goat. So,
do
you want to see what that's all about? Hello! I got her. There we go. And so we're just gonna bribe her. That's gonna make this a lot smoother. Freshly, how you doing, buddy?
She still fights me a lot though, so.
Yeah. This is Faye. She is an Alpine Toggenburg. She is our full-size goat. And she's not as used to being milked. What you see my wife doing over there, that stuff that looks like blood, that red stuff, that's called betadine.
Betadine.
Betadine, tomato. And it is a just like a antibacterial, antiseptic. It's a sterilizing agent. It's what they use in hospitals up here if they give you stitches on a wound. Evie, this is not for you, Evie. We're trying to share. Evie, Faye's going to get mad at you. Stop trying to get in there. You gotta go down, girl. You gotta go down. I'll give her a handful. And Peter, there is a couple things. Her shirt is very pink, but there's a couple things that we don't tolerate here. We're not going to tolerate any sexualized content, and we're not going to tolerate any racism. That's your only warning, friend. I feel like you want to stick around. You don't want to get kicked out of here. We are just wrestling with the goats here because Evie here, the little puppy goat.
She's doing fantastic. This is her best milking yet.
Especially considering Evie is up on the table with her. Evie can't wait till she's a milking goat. She wants to be right up in here, but Evie, it's not your turn, girl. It's not your turn. And the goats are adorable. They really are. They could be a handful. Ow! You just gave me a new piercing. So anyway, yes, Hesh, we are in northern Canada. This is a Alpine Toggenburg, so she's a full-size goat. And this over here, she's a mini Nubian, so she is a half-size goat. A little bigger than a pygmy, because Nubians are full-size goats. But she's mixed with a Nigerian dwarf, which is a miniature goat. So she's a medium-sized goat. This is a full-size, and we've got some pygmies over there, which are little baby goats. Kine-san says hi. Hey, how you doing? Oh, Evie, you are adorable, but Faye's gonna headbutt me by mistake because you keep coming in for the treats. Here. Mike D says, very cool. Do you make cheese from that milk? Yeah. Oh!
We're good. I'm saving it.
Spilt a little.
She's kicking at me now.
We do. We make cheese, we make yogurt, and also the milk itself is just drinkable. But yeah. Off of this girl right now, she has what we call a singleton baby. So she has one baby. They can have singletons, single babies, or often they'll have twins or even triplets. And so if they have a singleton like this, we can do what's called milk sharing, where the baby will eat during the day, but you can milk her off at night and in the morning. Especially because it's now about 2 months old. I'm not letting you up, Evie.
This is crazy. I'm getting so much milk from her, and I even dumped a ton of it.
Yeah, so off of her, if we were just milking her, we'd probably be looking at about a gallon a day. Right now, milk sharing, maybe 2 to 3 liters. Oh, look at this girl. This is why normally we'll keep the other goats separate, because otherwise you're stuck wrestling.
Okay, you got a second here? I filled my bucket. She's still got lots, so I'm actually...
Okay, well, we are out of grain.
No!
I'll go get more grain, but it's going to be...
No, I'll finish it off and we'll just wrestle her.
Okay. You're out. You're
Justin,
out.
This is so much milk. I'm not prepared for this much
Oh boy.
milk.
Oh boy.
I am not prepared for this.
It's just dust crumbs now.
It's going to be interesting.
Why do you want to know my name? KJ says, how do you spell the small goat that keeps jumping up? Like the Pokemon. E-E-V-E-E. Yes, we're hoping one day she turns into a Jolteon.
Oh, this is hard.
I know.
Justin, what are you doing over there?
Well, I'm trying to fight 2
can
goats.
you-
I got nothing in the bucket.
It'll be a bucket's upsetting her now.
Here, girl. Here. We'll trade up to some grass.
Fine, I'll come from the other side.
She's dancing and fighting because she really wanted the treats and we just ran out.
She's
This
also
girl was
not
kind of
trained.
agitating her.
She's also not trained for this.
She's only been getting milked this week.
Only a third time today.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait for you. Think about what I'm doing back here.
Yes, and what's the goat feed? So what I was giving her is just your dairy ration. It's like rolled oats, corn. Oh, she almost fell off. She's dancing. She's dancing. There's nothing left in there. She wants out because I'm out of treats.
Okay, can you take this? I'm just gonna force train her here. She needs to learn that even if she tries to jump around, I'm not letting go of her udders. But I can't do that with the bucket. Oh, such a waste of milk. Here, Justin, you come hold the bucket. Aim.
We're gonna.
Come on, Justin. Let's go.
I'm coming.
Do not let her jump in the bucket, okay? Okay, so if she starts jumping too much, then don't. But I don't want to waste it. Okay, she's almost done anyway, so it's not worth it. But I'm gonna hold.
Now we're risking the rest of the bucket.
I'm gonna hold her udders here for a second, so she knows no matter how much she
yes.
jumps
So
around,
this
I'm not gonna let go.
Was this all from her? Both of these from her?
Half of the jar and the bucket.
So yeah, goat milk. What did you want me to do? You're just gonna hold her udders?
I was just telling you what I'm doing because you wanted to live stream.
Yes. What are you doing?
I'm holding onto her udders so that she knows no matter how much she jumps and kicks around, I'm not gonna let go.
You're the boss.
And no, in case anyone's wondering, I'm not hurting her. I'm just showing her that kicking around is not going to change the situation.
Oh boy. Squirting out some surplus.
I could have gotten a lot more milk into there if she wasn't fighting me so much.
Yes, so there is our milk supply. We're getting exclusively all of our milk from the goats right now. Hi, girl. And they got them cool goat eyes.
I'm still milking milk out of her. Like, I definitely could have got a lot more.
If anyone has any questions, now would be the time to ask. KJ says, what else are you going to do today? I got to go down to fix the boat motor.
And you're going to water my orchard.
I'm going to water the orchard, the apple orchard. I got some relays. The tilt relays failed on my boat motor. Abby, how you doing? And TH Outdoor says, I ate duck today. How did you like your duck, TH?
What kind of duck did you have?
What kind of duck and how did you like it? And Terrible Time says, put the man there. Terrible Times, let's be appropriate. Red Librarian says, what are you doing to the goat? We just milked her. So first, we milked her. And
we're training her to milk right now. So she has not been trained for milking. If you were on here earlier, you'd see us milking Mimi, who is trained for milking. And she stands lovely. She doesn't kick at me. If you have a goat who thinks, oh, if I kick, I get to be done, then they're going to kick at you every time you try to milk, and you're never going to have milk because they'll just get their foot in your bucket.
yeah, so
what I'm doing right now is I'm saying, you're good right now, Faye. I'm going to keep holding onto your udders, and I'm barely holding, just so you guys know. I don't know if you can see that. But no matter how much you kick me, I'm not going to let go. So they learn it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of training. And this is a headlock. You do that so that you can have the bucket of treats, but she already ate that whole bucket right there for her. And it kind of keeps her in one spot so she doesn't fall off the table. Yeah, you don't want her falling off the table. And JC says, I ate goat today. How did you like it? I'm sure you're trolling, but if you're not, how was it? KJ says, can I get the moderator? I'll watch every stream. KJ, we gotta build a relationship. I only have a handful of moderators, and it requires some love back and forth. We need to build a relationship. We got a ton of awesome subscribers. Red Librarian, welcome back. And TH says, I don't know what type of duck it was. It was from Wild Fork. I assume Wild Fork is a restaurant. Hey, hi, Elsa. That was her mom. So she's a little bit like, yo, what were you just doing to my mom? What were you doing to my mom? Freshly Wild says, Justin is goated. Abby says, I'm just stopping by right now. And Jerry says, hi. Abby says, then I'm heading out. Abby, I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Thank you. Abby is the OG. Abby was our very first moderator. Abby was the first OG moderator. And yes, little Evie here was trouble during that. She,
Evie's still out there?
yeah, she was getting all up in Faye's face. Come on, Evie. Come on, girl. Come on, my little puppy. So anyway, my wife and I did a little video talking about chickens versus ducks earlier. So we're gonna get that posted online in the next day or two. So if you guys want to see what that's all about, whether we like chickens or ducks more, the pros and cons of both, subscribe and come back in a couple days, and that'll be up on the channel. Maybe by tomorrow. Hey girl. Hi guys. There's nothing in the bucket. It's empty. I shouldn't even have it here. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you guys. Oh boy. Hey, don't throw headbutts. You're too close to me. Be nice, Faye. Be nice. I took one of her horns to the ribs the other day. Not her fault. I was standing in a bad spot, but I can tell you, it didn't feel good. It did not feel good at all. My wife is checking on the rabbits. How are the bunnies doing?
I want to show you Simba. This is like, no, that's Simba.
Simba?
Simba, I named him. We're keeping Simba. I don't know if
Simba's a boy?
No. He is. He's going to be our backup buck. / buck to grow.
And TH Outdoors says the Wild Fork was not a restaurant. It's a place where you order meat online.
Ah.
Interesting. I've never heard of that. I'll check it out. I'm not going to order from it because I have all the wild meat I need, but it'll be cool to see what it's all about. And Evie is really cute. She is adorable. She's eating the post right now. Hi, Evie. Evie's got them blue eyes. She's got them.
This is Simba. Justin, look how cute he is.
Oh boy.
Isn't he cute? Don't get too close.
Simba's ears are called lopped, i.e. lopsided.
He's special.
His ears go to one side.
Look at.
And he's got a lion's mane. So Simba is that's appropriately named. He is very floofy.
And he's very special, and he is going to be our
backup breeder.
Our backup buck. He's a pet. He got upgraded to pet.
He is no longer part of the food chain.
I got more work to do this. So.
Yes. Simba's a good name. He literally does have that kind of,
That's Simba.
yeah, lion-y name to him. Milano says that's a beautiful one. Beavis says we all got to eat. And Haru says, hello, my friend. How are you? Okay, I'm from Indonesia. Well, hello, Indonesia. We are in northern Canada here, live streaming with the rabbits. And guys, one thing I got to say to you guys, first off, look at the beautiful field. But second off, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hello. Thank you for joining us. We are over the minimum requirements to join the YouTube Partner Program now, thanks to you guys stopping in and saying hello. So I appreciate you guys. We should be able to apply on Monday, and I'm sure we'll get accepted as long as you guys stay happy, friendly, and enjoy what you're seeing. So thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. The goats appreciate all of you. The chickens and ducks appreciate all you guys. So speaking of which, let's go say hi to some chickens and ducks before we go down to the lake. We got to go down to the lake, but let's go say hi to the chickies and the duckies. Beautiful field. Gabby was over here. Oh, there's Gabby. I'm looking right at her on the camera. There's Gabby. KJ says Evie is my favorite. And Beavis says we all got to eat. Freshly says awesome news. Yes, we are at about 3,200 hours of watch time. You need 3,000 to get accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, 4,000 for that ad revenue, and then we'll be able to make all the pennies. We did not lock this door unless my wife's in and out right now. So here are the chickens and the roosters. Tomorrow is a butcher day. So what you want to have is one rooster. Hey, you're not allowed in here. Keep the door closed. You want to have one rooster for every 10 hens and one drake, which is a male duck, for every 5 female ducks. And that means we need to thin the herd a little bit because we got a few too many boys. So tomorrow will be a processing day. That is just kind of part of homesteading. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to have a trial by niceness. I think I'm going to put all the females out of here, and I'm going to hang out in here with the males. And the ones that don't try to peck at me, they get to live. The ones that try to peck at me, they got to die. If none of them peck at me, then I got to pick them based on cosmetics. So it is what it is. But let me show you guys what we're looking at here. Here are the chickens and the ducks. These are Appleyard and Buff Orpingtons. And then we got Long Island Reds and other chickens. I am not so much the chicken guy, but we got ducks and chickens hanging out. And the goats, they're like puppies. They even have dog collars on. They just want to stay close. So wherever I am, they are. So if anyone has any questions about any of this, let me know. Otherwise, we're just chilling. We also have a bunch of baby ducks that we just raised. And JC says, murderer. I know, I'm sorry. It's got to happen, though. It's got to happen. See, here's the problem. If I don't butcher the surplus males, they will get aggressive and they will fight with each other. And particularly the chickens, they will kill each other. They are carnivorous. They will fight to the death. The ducks, they can do it too. They'll get aggressive with each other and hurt each other. So in order to avoid that, you got to make sure you got a balanced ratio. And like I said, that ratio is 1 rooster for every 10 chickens, hens, and 1 drake, male duck, for every 5 female ducks. Let's go check on the baby ducks. Okay. Let's lock the door behind me here. We're gonna go check on the baby ducks. We hatched these guys last weekend, so they're only a week old come today. And thank you for understanding, JC. I appreciate that. These guys here I'm about to show you, they were at one point on the endangered list. They're a very special duck. They are now no longer endangered, just I think whatever the term is, critical, near critical. But we are going to be keeping all of the males off of this and all the females. And we will be breeding these guys in order to increase our herd, but also, trying to hook this up with one hand. Okay, but also in order to supply other people with these handsome little ducks. These guys are 1 week old. 1 week old as of today and tomorrow. KJ says, what video games do you play? I don't have a lot of time to play video games, but if I'm going to play one, it's going to be probably Hearthstone. That is Blizzard's card game. I grew up as a kid playing a little bit of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, and nowadays, Hearthstone is acceptable. But I don't have a lot of time to play video games because I am, with my baby ducks and my goats and my cows and my chickens and my pigs. All the beautiful animals. JC says, I believe God did. God did what? God did what? You believe God did what? Sorry, I'm out of context. Ernie's Cabin says, how do you find keeping ducks during the winter? Honestly, they're the ones we're keeping. Buff Orpingtons, Appleyards, and Ancona ducks are easy to keep in the winter. They are winter hardy. And so as long as I give them lots of straw bedding for the winter, I don't need a heat lamp. I just need to make sure that I keep their water thawed. So I have a heated water dish. And I give them lots of extra straw so that they can stay nice and warm. But they do really well. They're arguably easier than the chickens for the winter. Iris says, hello from Ontario. Well, hello, my fellow Ontarian. We are also up here in northern Canada in Ontario. Ocean 8VES says, hi, everyone. How you doing? And Nathan says, what breed? These are Ancona ducks. Ancona. And our friend here said, if you ever played a video game, would you play Half-Life 2? I've never played Half-Life 2, but back in university, I played a ton of CSGO, which I believe is based off of Half-Life. And KJ says, why do you want to know my name? I just changed it. Okay. Well, I thought you were the same person, but I didn't want to ask. When you got 82 to 100 people in the chat, you know how it is. Nobody really cares, says, YouTube joined the stream, said hello. Nobody really CS. I really CS. I care about you, friend. I care. And I'm sweating. It is hot in here. We got the heat lamp. The sun picked up. It's a really hot day up here in northern Canada. We're going to turn this light off. We're going to let these babies do their thing. I call these guys cow ducks. They're Ancona ducks. They're all spotted. They're all different. Very cool. The yellow ones are going to be white with chocolate or black dots. The dark ones are going to be chocolate with white dots. And we got a mouse. Oh, we just missed the mouse. There was a mouse. And Pumbaa the pig says, why did the duck go to jail? He was caught smoking quack. Oh, snap, patty whack, give a dog a bone. That's a good one. I appreciate that. Ocean Waves says, thumbs up the live, please. Double tap that screen, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. They are adorable. Iris Milano says, can I raise ducks in temperatures above 30 degrees? In my country, summer temperatures can reach up to 45 degrees. It's probably 30 degrees right now. They are totally fine. In fact, while they're this little, until they get their feathers, I even have to supplement with a heat lamp. So what I do here is, you'll notice, this run is actually fairly long. And the heat lamp is over on this side. That side, there's no heat lamp. And that way, if they need to cool down, they'll go over there. But if they want to warm up, they'll come over here. And so they got some room to get away from the heat or come to the heat. Up here in Northern Canada, our daytimes are getting super hot. So, yeah, I'm in here. My wife is telling me I got to get up at 6 a.m. to start butchering ducks and chickens and rabbits tomorrow. It's a big rabbit chicken butchering day. Like I said, I gotta butcher off the surplus males, and so yeah, we got to do that tomorrow. It's part of homesteading. I am a hunter. I grew up hunting, and so this part of it, you know, you never feel good about it. You never want to feel good about it. It's nice to have meat in the freezer, but I do genuinely care for these animals. We spend a lot of time taking care of them, so it's an unfortunate reality of it. When I can, we tend to try to rehome and sell the surplus males for the most part. But when you're producing as many as we are, there's always going to be some that have to go into the freezer. It is just part of it. And Pumbaa the pig says, nice ducks though. Kyle says, have you seen the mouse trap with the 5-gallon bucket? I have, and I have one set up in my garage. I also have a few reusable traps, but yes, the mouse bucket does work very well. And KJ is letting everyone know, subscribe, double tap that screen, give us a like. We are going to move on from the duckies and we are going to go see the pigs, because we got to slowly make our way over to the boat, because I need to install a couple relays for the trim tilt. So we'll put the heat lamp back down. I'm looking at me, but I want to look at them. So heat lamps back down, they're in there, they got the lid closed. We can turn the light off. Lily! Hi, Lily. Are you mousing? Are you trying to find that mouse for me? Do you want to find the mouse? Let's go see the pigs, guys. We're going to go see the pigs. Did you give the pigs any food? Love? Ms. Mariah? Did you give the pigs any food? She can't hear me. She's did you give the pigs food? Okay, I'll give them some food too. Let's go see the pigs down this way by the lake. So I have the pigs in this about half an acre field of forest. And so they're in this area, and you can see just how well they clean this area up. They just forage and scrounge and just till this all up. And I did this on purpose. You don't want to put your pigs in your main field with your cows and your goats and stuff, because if you look at the ground, this is what's left of the ground in here. They will do this to your fields. They will destroy your fields because they are very good rooters and foragers. And that is what my beautiful farm fields would look like. So I put them in the forest though, because I wanted them to do that. I wanted them to clean up that forest, make it much more accessible, get rid of all the deadfall, reduce the fire risk. And so piggies be in there. And I'm gonna have to rotate them down soon because they've done a very good job opening this up. So they've done a good job just kind of rooting and tilling. Come here, pigs. Come here, pigs. Let's see if they come when I call them. Come on, guys. They might be just hiding in there because it's too hot out, but we'll see. We'll see. Pumbaa the pig says, pigs for the win. We are over here for you, Pumbaa. Kyle says, there's a YouTuber called Mousetrap Monday, and he does demonstrations on all the different mouse traps. Ocean Wave says, gotta go, guys. Take care, man. Milano says, nice view you have. Terrible Time says, just follow your nose and you'll find the pigs. There is certainly some smell of vision going on here. Let's flip us around. We're gonna go down to the lake here very soon. The lake is right in front of us. We're gonna go down to the pontoon boat and we gotta swap out a relay. I got the 2 relays in my butt pocket, but first, I want to find a pig. So I'm going to throw some food down. If they don't come, we're going to go find them just to say hi. Come here, pigs. Usually when I start up my skid steer, they come running because usually that means I'm getting them some food or water. But I don't think I need to right now. What do pigs do when they don't get their way? They swine. I'm liking the punny dad jokes. You guys keep them coming. Keep them funny, keep them appropriate, and I'll keep reading them. Pigs and water. Is that a bad thing? Let's get them some food. They call this hog mash. And so it's ground up corn, barley, wheat, grain. Oh, here they come. Da 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 da. Bum bum bum. Da 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 da. Bum bum bum. Hey, buddy. There you go. I'm gonna give you more. The pigs. They have come to say hello. Hi, guys. I'll give them one more for good luck. Here, piggies. That should be plenty for right now because they did get all our supper slop as well. I'll flip you guys around in a second. I use this plastic tote lid that I cut the top off just to cover my bag of food here so it doesn't get rained on. Does the job. And let's see, Sean's non-existent hairline says, is it true that pigs will eat dead bodies, please? I need to know. This is not legal advice. They are omnivorous. They do eat meat and vegetables. However, up here in Canada, it is illegal. It is not legal to feed them meat. We are not allowed to feed them any meat. The main reason is not because they don't want them trained to eating people. The main reason you don't feed them meat is because, Lily, bring me back my bucket. Oh, pigs. Hey, be nice, play nice. The main reason you don't want to feed them meat is because we share a considerable amount of DNA with pigs. And so if they were to catch a disease from eating rotten meat, they can pass it on to humans. And so if you give them a taste for meat, and then let's say a coyote full of parasites and disease dies in their area and they're used to eating meat, they will eat the dead coyote and then they could catch it and then you eat them and you could catch it and pass on diseases. So you're not allowed, at least up here in Canada, we're not allowed to feed them any meat. It's against the law. I can go to jail. So I don't feed them any meat. But yeah, there is a higher protein content in this hog's feed to meet that supply demand for them. And Kyle says, your pigs look pretty good. They're pretty lean. Yes, they got a good balance between foraging, scraps, and the hog's feed. I would say they're probably sitting in the 150 to 160 pound range right now. I haven't measured. You can measure the girth around their chest and then the length and get a good estimate of their weight, but I'd put them around 160 pounds. They're pretty big. They're probably as heavy as I am right now, and maybe a little heavier. And Media Central says, are you monetized? Kind of Media Central. I am over the 3,000 hours that's required to get monetized. I won't unlock the button to click apply until Monday. So come Monday, give them a few days, and yes, we will be monetized. We are right there. We are right there because we got you beautiful people talking to us, and it is fantastic. So we are right there. And Ocean Wave says, yes, they have 50% human DNA. So yeah, I know the rules are different everywhere, but up here in Canada, can't feed the meat. And Pumbaa the pig says, at the Lost One, you want to know the best pet name for a pig? Chris P. Bacon. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Freshly Wild says, I knew this content was gold when I stumbled upon the community. Freshly Wild, you are part of the gold. Larry Mazer says, which province are you in? We are in Ontario. We are in the far north. We are up near Hudson's Bay, and I have my own little private lake here. Welcome to my lake. And Media Central says, nice. That's awesome. Okay, guys, the pigs are fantastic. They are awesome. But we do have to stumble our way down to the boat because I really need to get these relays out and get the boat motor working good before before the flies come out, before the bugs come out and carry me away. And that is a ticking time bomb as that sun sets behind me. So I also need to fix my dock here. My dock is in shambles. We had a nasty storm come through here and it broke the weld that was holding my dock up to the ramp. And so I just kind of ratchet strapped it to hold it here. But it is a bit of a drop off to get. Woo! Anyway, welcome to my lake. Let's go on to the boat. I got a vacuum. I got 5 sons, 5 boys. And so it's hard to keep anything clean, but welcome to my lake. This is all actually wild rice. These weeds are wild rice. And so in fall, the duck hunting, fantastic. You own that? I mean, I don't technically own the lake, but I have 156 acres. I will kind of show you here. So way out there is the bay to go to the main body of water. This is all my property, all of this, and it's a peninsula. So the lake goes all the way around and all the way back. And there's only one way in over there. So this is my little piece of paradise over here. In northern Canada, you can actually get this kind of stuff. Pretty well most other places in the world, it just doesn't exist. So this is my little piece of paradise. Let me try to set you guys up in a way that I can work on this boat motor and still read the dang screen. And KJ says, gosh dang, 100 acres? You're so rich. 156. Let's not discount the 56 acres. Okay, this boat motor has been giving me some grief. One of the relays quit working on me, so let's open this up. I made it easy because I took out the one that was broken, so I just have to put the new one back in. And how much can property like that cost? Up here in the far north in Canada, it's pretty affordable. I do have an off-grid house and garage. I built the barns and all the other structures myself, but for that, with the house, it's about a 1,200 square foot. It was a cabin, it was 3 seasons. I had to put a bunch of money into it. But I ended up getting this property 2 years ago for just under $400,000. Canadian dollars, which is like pesos for you Americans. Just kidding, but I'm commenting on how weak our Canadian dollar is. But we ain't gonna talk about that because that sounds a little too political. Do you have a bear story? I wouldn't, no, I don't have any real bear stories. I've had to chase them away. We've had some run-ins, but nothing worth mentioning. Nothing scary enough or exciting enough to talk on here. How much would 3 acres be? So the housing market's starting to get a little bit crazy because people are finding out about, you know, northern Canada. But you could probably get a 3 acre just vacant land for like 15,000 bucks, around 15 grand. It's getting harder though, guys. Ever since that good old thing called COVID happened, housing prices and everything have just continued to climb. I also am having an impossible time opening this. They did a fantastic job taping this thing. 400K what? For 156 acres on the Lake Peninsula private property, off-grid. In Tuscan, it can cost $1.5 million. What fish do you stock in the lake? I don't have to stock them because they're naturally occurring, but I've got walleye, bass, smallmouth, not large, crappie, perch, muskellunge, which is musky, they're big, they're like 7 feet long, and northern pike, which can get about 6 feet long. Living off your own harvest must be very rewarding. It is very rewarding. It's a lot of work, certainly a lot of work. And when stuff breaks, you just got to kind of figure it out because, you know, there's no stores up here. But it's very rewarding, very nice. My wife says blah, 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 blah. I don't know what she's saying. I'm going to scroll away from it. Okay. So I've got this little clip here. I got to kind of figure out. I don't even know how this is going to go on here. Was there 2 pieces to the clip? No. It goes up here. Okay, we're figuring this out. So this is just going to push in here, there. And this relay. So this is my good old boat motor. And it left me high and dry the other day. Do I have to turn the key first? Yeah, I gotta go turn the key on. But we're gonna put this in first and hope for the best. The relay quit working on me, and so the tilt stopped working. And so I couldn't raise the motor, but I took it out, swapped that one in. We're gonna go, let's go turn the key over. Oh boy. Let's go turn the key over and see if, let's go turn the key over and see if that's working. And then we'll put her back together. It might have been that simple. So, turn the key over once. We got up, we got down. That was easy. I got one bolt. I dropped one in the lake. The other one I've got sitting here somewhere. I think I should. I might have lost both bolts. But I think it's okay if I don't put the bolt in for now. Everything's so tight in that motorhead that I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I think we're okay even if I lost the bolt. I can always put new bolts in later. Let's just close that up. The lid is very stubborn. The casing is very stubborn. I now have a spare because I got 2 relays. In Canada, when you're living up here in the middle of nowhere, you got to get spares of everything because if you're in a pinch, you know, it ain't that fun. So let's put this back together now that we know it works. And tomorrow I can go to the beach. Okay, let's just tuck the relays in here out of the way as best we can so that the head actually closes. I've been having a hard time getting this dang thing to close. I might fight with it later, but the casing doesn't fully want to get in there. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna fight with it in the morning. I don't feel like fighting with it and you know, dry humping my motor on live stream. I'd rather fight with this later. Let's go water the garden. We gotta go to the apple orchard now. We know that works. We will button that up tomorrow. It's stubborn when it's in the horizontal or vertical position like this. It's better when I lower the motor, but I don't feel like fighting with it right now. We threw that on. We know it's working. We got the spare right here. So let's take the spare. We'll set it aside. What else are we saying here? Kyle says, it's pretty awesome that you live on a peninsula. It is fantastic. Especially while it says double tap the screen for an easy like, guys. And that is an interesting observation, Kyle. What else did I miss, guys? Heather said, in Concord, Ontario, they are offering an acre of land for only $10,000 to attract more people to move into the area. There's a lot of small towns in northern Canada that are basically giving away land. There is a ton of small little 1,000 people communities where the municipalities own a bunch of property and they'll give you an acre for $1. They'll sign it over to your name, but it'll be conditional. You have to build a house worth a certain value within a certain amount of time. But basically they'll give the land for free. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I actually know someone who is doing that very thing. They're cheating a little bit because they're going to get their parents and brother and sisters to each get an acre side by side. And I think they're only going to build a permanent structure on one, and then they're going to put like mobile homes on the other, and then they're just going to use all 4 lots for themselves. And then they got places for their parents to stay. But we now have to go do the not so fun job of watering the apple orchard. And why do I say that watering the apple orchard is a not so fun job? Well, I've got a really janky setup. We're gonna go down to the apple orchard, but I've got a lake draw pump that requires me to dump water into it to prime it. And the generator is on a pull start with no choke and no primer. So it's a bit of work to get the garden watered, but once it gets going, it's beautiful. Let's walk this way. So we're walking towards the apple orchard. And TCTC says, so can they not sell it after building for an extra buck? Yes. The contracts typically don't say they have to stay living there. The municipalities just want to see development. They want to see investment. They want to see new growth. And so, yeah, I mean, you could do that. You could get the land for basically free, build a house and sell the house. I don't know but usually those communities don't have as many people looking to buy. So might be a little bit harder to sell the property. KJ says, bye, God bless. everyone, or have a blessed day, everyone. Kyle says, have you set up gutters to collect your rainwater? I have for my dog. I haven't done it yet, so the barn isn't fully roofed yet. I've only got the barn mostly roofed, so I need to finish that. Once I finish that, then I do have a bunch of gutters to install. I do have an automatic waterer for my goats and cows, so they have unlimited access to water. But if I collect rainwater, then the well pump's gonna run less, which means I'm gonna burn less solar and less generator. I do live off grid here, and so everything is solar or generator. And what happened with the generator that caught fire? Jesse, you are paying attention. So it ended up being a surface fire because I split a fuel line. So well, it was two things. I split a fuel line and then I blew a belt. Lily's chasing something. So I blew a fuel line and then I split the air cool belt. And so the generator got really hot and the fuel line was spraying diesel on the generator. And then it started pluming smoke out of the garage. Some of the wiring melted and it was a bugger. It was a bugger. I did a post after I fixed it. It took me from like 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. This is the orchard, by the way, guys. It took me from about 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. But I got her all rewired, rebelted, and fixed. It was a job. Wah-bam, sunflower. So this is the apple orchard. The fence isn't fully done, but it's good enough to keep the goats out. So, yes, this is the lake draw pump setup over here. So this is going to be fun. I need to start the generator, which is a pull start. And let's see if it's got gas in it. Oh boy. No. So it's also got a small leak somewhere in the fuel line, or it's evaporating out, because if I don't use it for a few days, she'd be empty. But we're going to refill that. And then the hose is, I do have a anti-siphon valve at the bottom to keep primed, but it doesn't fully keep it primed. So it'll lose prime if I don't water after, 4 or 5 days. And then I got these 2 milk jugs right here. I walk down to the lake, I fill these with water, I dump them down the hose, refill that so that it builds prime, get the generator going, and water the garden. Thank you. That'll happen. I'll accidentally mute it when I am flipping you guys back and forth, back and forth. They're right beside each other. There should be an icon that pops up for me with like a red microphone, so I know that I muted it. I'm back. I was saying, no, the garage did not burn down. My wife caught it when the smoke started coming out of the garage. She got all the doors, windows, and that open when she turned the generator off, and it cooled down and did not burn the whole garage down. So that was very good. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. I imagine you guys can hear me now, because on my end it looks like you can. Let's pour a little bit of gas in the gen. And I don't need to pour a whole lot, because I have a sneaky suspicion I got either a slow leak or it's all evaporating. And you can hear me now. Good, good. And the smoke probably scared the squirters away for a while. The squitters? The squirters? The squiddles? What are we saying? What are we saying over there? I got you guys angled down looking at the generator, so it's hard to see. The mosquitoes, the skeeters. Up here, man, nothing scares them away. Can you guys see the bugs flying around my head right now? That is just the nasty reality of it. I think before I even try, do I try it? I think I do try it. Let's see if we lost prime or not. I'll undo the primer screw on the thing. Put that in my back pocket so I don't lose it. Now, there's no primer or choke on the generator, so I just got to pull start 100 times. So bear with me while I pull start this thing 110 times. Let's set you guys up for the show. And let's not break the pull starter this time. Unfortunately, I don't have it on key start. We'll get there eventually. By pulling it, we are building prime. I like to flip between EcoBoost and non-EcoBoost and just hope for the best. Bear with me, guys. Oh, there we go. Okay. We got the generator started and we got the water pump on. However, if there's no water in it, she's not going to prime. So we're going to pour a little bit of water in. We probably got to put more than that. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to go for a walk down to the water. But also, it is raspberry season. So, well, these are whatever these are. But the raspberries are in here somewhere. Right here. Raspberries. So the raspberries are in season. Okay, let's go down for a walk down to the water and then I'll read what you guys are saying. The bugs are trying to eat my head. I don't know. We'll see. You guys will probably see them in a second. The bugs are everywhere. I'm going to go down here and try not to get eaten by a crocodile. Crikey, mate! You know, this is the beautiful thing about Canada. Wow! I'm okay. The beautiful thing about Canada, I don't got to worry about getting eaten by a croc here. I need to figure out how to set you guys up though so you don't fall. Oh, the bugs are, look how bad the bugs are on my head. You guys see that? Ah! Bummer that about Ozzy. I know it's been a few days, but still, not many celebrity deaths bother me. But that made me sad. Yeah, but I think everyone, you know, the media is all saying that last event he did raised like $120 million for charity. So that's fantastic. Diesel says, I see a booger. Probably not mine. Heather says, raspberries and blueberries are what get bears to come out. In the fall, we do have a bit of a bear problem. That is true. Ocean Wave says, thank God, just a dude. Yeah, dude, the last concert was so sad. Heather says, no crocs, but the pike always bite at me. I've never been bitten by a muskie or a pike. They're big, they're in here, but I've never been bitten by one. Okay, let's try to, is this log? Okay. So, okay, we're gonna get some water. Bear with me, guys. I gotta collect my water. I can't drink without it. The nice thing about living off grid and out here is this is fresh water. It's a little murky, but if the world ever ended, I could just boil this up and always have access to fresh water. It would just be a hassle to have to come down here and get it. Ah, we just went in the lake. I just got a booter. I missed the log. I missed it. I got a wet foot. Like I said, I'm running a pretty janky setup here. Okay, that's enough water for now. We're gonna try that and hope for the best. Okay, bear with me while I climb this hill and then I'll read what you're asking. It's a little bit of a sketchy incline here. Okay. Was the land cleared there or did you have to clear it all? No, thankfully the land was already cleared. It was already set up as a farm field. It just wasn't being used as such. It was a tourist camp for a while, an American camp. Let's set you guys up over here for a second. Oh boy. Trying to find a way not to drop you guys. There we go. And guys, please thumbs up the live. Gotta pour some water in my hole. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I gotta focus. got that prime. Okay, we'll give that a hot moment, but we might have to disconnect the hose. Normally that's what I have to do, but I've got water in the pump, so I'm hoping it's gonna build prime. And Heather says, we placed a rain barrel over our pump that we had to prime. Place it on a platform with a roof and add the gutter to help collect the rain water barrel. Yeah, I definitely need to improve this setup going forward because this is super janky. It's super janky. But we'll get there, we'll get there. And Milano says, I have started wanting to visit Canada. It can be a very beautiful place. A lot of bugs though. Look at them flying around my head. These guys are biters too, they bite you. Oh, I killed him, I got him. Okay, this, I gotta do a thing or two here, 1 second. Let's turn this off, disconnect it. I need to unscrew this. Come on. This does not want to unscrew. Okay, let's try pouring some water straight into here. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'm gonna pour water straight into there. Get all that air out of there and help it prime. This sometimes takes like 4 jugs. These are only half jugs to boot. We gotta get 2 full jugs. Like I said, I made a super janky setup. There's no reason that it has to be this janky, that I gotta walk down to the lake and pour water into it. It just is what it is. Even if I just came down here once every second day and started the dang thing, it would hold prime. But because I let it sit so long, the water evaporates out of it and I lose prime. So I'm doing it to myself, making it this janky. And if I did change the elevation, like you said, had a water barrel so that it could prime, I mean, I could definitely make it easier. I could definitely make it easier on myself, but why would I want to do things the easy way? That doesn't make sense. We're almost there, guys. Lily, what are you doing? You kind of scared me. Lily's coming for a swim. Come here, Lil. Come here, girl. Come here, Lily. Here she comes. Lily. Come say hi. Are you cooling down? Where'd you even come from? Come on, girl. There's Lily. Okay. Lily, I'm going back up. Ugh. We got our 2 jugs of milk, lake milk. Let's do what we can here. Ugh. This should be enough to get this primed. So we'll try. Watch out for them Arctic crocodiles. Oh boy. I think I can. feeling close. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, we're there. Okay, we got it full of water. So now I just got to hook it back up, put some water back in the pump, and then she'll prime. Okay, we're there, guys. Bear with me. We got her. And yes, that was super janky. I apologize for that being probably pretty boring. But now we're gonna go walk around the orchard and we can socialize a bit here while I do this. Let me jump the fence because I didn't build a gate yet. And yes, now we can water our garden. That was a lot of jank just to water a garden. Okay, I'm gonna flip you guys around so you can see the apple trees this is elderberry. Heather says, could possibly cut a trough from the lake that runs into a small circle lined with plastic, make a small watering hole to fill jugs much closer to the well pump. You are absolutely right. There is no end to the possibilities. There's definitely smarter ways. This is not the smartest way to do it. I'm gonna get this extra saturated because she's nice and hot out here right now. Hardway Alaska says, ever see the no electric or gas water pumps? Yes, I really should change this to just a straight up gas water pump. Running a electric pump to the generator, and both of which being super janky. This is quite the jank I'm using. I will be the first to admit that this is a janky setup. My wife asks, she says, do you want me to water the garden for you? And I'm too embarrassed to tell her how hard it is to do this. She thinks that this is a 5-minute job, but it takes me like 20 minutes. And Heather says, hey, it's a workable system that someone else will be glad to learn to start with. So it's great that you're showing it. Trouble says, he appears to be 4 or 5 feet above the shoreline. That would be a pretty ambitious digging project without a backhoe. That is absolutely true. There is some good elevation drop there. That elevation rise, that's also part of why this is janky. I'm losing prime because I have so much head pressure. Because my water pump is so much higher than the shore, I'm losing my prime much quicker. Even though I have a one-way check valve, I shouldn't really be losing prime at all, but I think there's just too much elevation. Kyle says, or get a wind-powered water pump. I mean, as much as I live off grid, I do think a gas-powered one's just that much more reliable. And I was trying to use a nozzle, but because I'm sucking off the bottom of the lake, there's just too much dirt and clay coming in here. And so that gummed up right away. So we're going back to the good old thumb spigot. The thumb spigot has never failed me. This one is a Parkland apple. Parkland apple tree. Get the ground all the way around it. Did I miss anything exciting while I was doing that, guys? If anyone has any questions that I might have missed while I was walking up and down the hill, please, now is the time to ask. I got nothing but time to read. This is a September ruby apple tree. September ruby apple tree. As by the name, this is a fall apple tree. Kyle says, but that's good. I'd probably give your trees extra nutrients, all that stuff from the lake. Yeah, a little bit of clay, give them a little silica. I don't know, a little iron and calcium while we're at it. It certainly can't hurt them. That's my philosophy. TH Outdoor says, do you plant clover for your rabbits? I do have a bag of clover for them that I haven't planted it yet, but I do have a bag of seed that I do want to plant. So I'm going to say the answer is yes if my procrastination didn't stop me. Heather says, you would be surprised though, wrapping the end of the hose with the lake nylon, the lady nylons, will keep out a lot of the dirt. Are you saying on the lake side or on this outside? On the lake coming in? I've got a screen on it for any of the big rocks, but some of the clay is still getting through. Trouble says, put a screw cap on two ends of the pipe when you leave. It would keep the water from evaporating. You know, the one end is in the lake pretty far. It would be a good idea if I did do something. I put a one-way check valve hoping that would help, but I think I don't have enough plumber's tape. I have too much air leak. And, you know, maybe if I put the spigot on this, that will help. Because you're right, I am leaving this open, which is allowing a lot of that water to, you know, have air to push it downhill. You're a smart man. You're a smart man. Ocean Wave says, this was fun. I gotta go. I subbed to you, my friend. Ocean Waves, I look forward to talking to you again later, buddy. And Heather says, on the lakeside, put the nylon. Noel Plague says, de. Je ne parle pas le français, mon ami. Je parle anglais, mon ami. Mon cr. Kyle says, why don't you just put the water tank up there that you could fill up? I mean, I would still have to fill that water tank up. I mean, it'd probably be less hassle if I just got the pump running once, filled it with 1,000 liters, and then weighed it, you know, use that. That'd probably be less hassle. But water tanks don't grow on trees. They're pretty expensive. What are the name of the trees that you're watering? This one is a julienne pear tree. A julienne pear. Milano says, I subscribed to. Milano, thank you. I appreciate you. Hardway Alaska says, a ram pump or a cyclone works with no power at all, used over in the Philippines. I am going to screenshot that. Screenshot. Hardway, check that out, because I know you know what you're talking about here, and I'm going to check those out. I appreciate you. Hey, Peter, how you doing, buddy? And Kyle says, just put a ball valve on that end. Yeah, I could put a ball valve on here. That would work too. Trouble says, not so much smart. I just don't like to work hard if I don't have to. That is what the smartest people do, though. The smartest people don't work the hardest. You use your brains to avoid doing a lot of the things I'm doing. I like to think I'm smart until I do things like this, and I sit here for an hour getting the water going. Yeah, on the lakeside, I have a one-way valve in the water. But I think I just have too much elevation that it's able to maybe let some of that water out. I don't know. But I will cap this side off, at least with the garden hose end for now. And hopefully that helps. I think this is another julienne pear tree. And Paul says, why don't I just come water for you? You need a helper. And at some point in the future, maybe we can have some hired help for the summer. Maybe in the future, buddy. Kyle says, well, hopefully you can get some more subscribers and we can start donating. Kyle, I appreciate you. And you know what? That is the plan. So I used to run an Etsy store, and the way I treated my Etsy store was every time I made a sale, I put 100% of the money back into making the shop better and buying new tools. I did woodworking. And so I'd buy, went from just having a chop saw to then having a miter saw, and then a belt sander, and then a router, and then a Dremel. And every time I made sales, I just improved my setup each time. And that way I could make newer and better and cooler projects. Start with something simple and work your way up. And I plan to do the same thing with YouTube here, is when we start making money here, we'll just put everything back into the YouTube channel, whether it be buying, better watering pumps or buying more animals, putting that money towards, more cows, more goats, more whatever. A drone. I would love to get a drone so I could show you guys some awesome aerial footage of the property, of the forest, of the animals. And so just stuff like that. Anything we ever make is going to go back into the channel. YHWH, my father, Yahweh, my father, says, you need a caretaker. I am the caretaker right now. It is what it is, my friend. Peter says, never ever plant a Bradford pear tree. They're junk. They split easily before and after a storm. They are notorious for that. Pandoro, to kill a Bradford pear, you have to completely take them out. How's Julian pears? These are Julian pears over here. These two. I hope Julian pears aren't as bad. And then this is a plum tree, or a plum cherry tree. This is a plum cherry tree over here. And then my other poor plum cherry tree is half the size because it's a long story and it makes my wife a little bit angry. But because I don't have a gate yet, I took this section of fence down to get my lawnmower in here to cut the grass. And I was slow to put it back up, and the goats got in here, and they made that one a lot smaller than that one. And these are some tomatoes, because, why not? But yeah, this one's a cherry plum tree. And TH Outdoors says, do you hunt? Yes, I do. I hunt deer. I hunt rabbits, partridge. Look at that. We've got some tomatoes already growing. Tomatoes. I do hunt deer, partridge, grouse, wild rabbits. I even eat squirrels, believe it or not. BLM says, leave the animals alone. BLM. Goodbye, my friend. Kyle says, Heather, you're absolutely right. I would go up there and help him on a vacation. Heather said, there's lots of people that would volunteer to help to spend the summer there. Well, guys, you know what I plan to do? One of the things I plan to do is in the future here, in probably 3 to 5 years, I plan to build a second house on this property. And when I do, this house will be available. And we plan to turn it into an Airbnb. And who knows, when the kids are older, so I've got 5 sons. They are 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. And so they're still pretty young. But when they get older, there's definitely options. Assuming we are still doing this, and I'm loving doing this, there are options to use this Airbnb rental even as like a special subscriber giveaway. So who knows? We can set some stuff up, for people who are traveling, who want to come up here, who are through the area. That can definitely be a thing. So let's not write that off the table right yet. But for now, we're just kind of hermits, man, doing our own thing up here. Oh boy, the bugs want to eat me alive. I'm telling you guys. Let's water the hay out of these guys. And have you seen a multiple fruit trees? Kyle, what do you mean? What do you mean, have I seen a multiple fruit trees? Is there a type of fruit tree that can do apples and pears and plums at the same time? Tell me there is not a tree that can do that, because if there is, I need one. Peter says, just don't plant any trees too close to your house. You don't want a tree to fall on your house. It's not a good idea. Yeah, I'll show it. Well, you can kind of see right now, those 2 white pines are right between the garage and the house. And they are massive. I agree with you, Peter. I used to be a civil engineer, and that is the one thing that we always warned against was, first, drainage. You got to watch the grade of your house. Too many people put water going towards their house. Second is the placement of trees. The tree, if you plant a large breed tree, it's eventually going to go above your house. You're going to get branches eventually, whether it's 50 years from now, 100 years from now, eventually those branches are going to break and they're going to land on the roof and they're going to break it. Or you're going to have to pay an astronomical amount to have someone come all the way up there and cut that tree down piece by piece and hoist it down. Also the roots travel so far and wide, and they can penetrate your plumbing, your septic, they can crack your foundation. You don't want to have trees right beside your house. As pretty as they are, you don't want it. And Avery, welcome back to the chat. Avery says, hit that like button and subscribe, guys. And Heather says, what are in the north are you? What area in the north am I? I'm up towards Hudson's Bay. And Kyle says, they are fruit trees that will have plums and cherries and different stone fruit on a tree. There's a tree that is over 100 different species. That is pretty cool. I'll have to look into that. That is cool. A multi-purpose fruit tree. I mean, I can kind of see it because you can graft fruit trees fairly easily. Normally you'll take like a hardy apple tree stalk and graft it onto a plum tree. You won't get the apples, but I suppose if you just took one limb, it is possible. Very cool. Heather says, you can actually splice some variations of apples and pear trees, etc. TH Outdoor says, what do you hunt with for deer? So I've gotten deer with my bow. I have a compound bow. It's a 50-pound draw weight. And so I have gotten deer with my bow, but lately I've been using my 300 Savage. I have a Sears 300 Savage. It's an older gun. I got it from my father. That is what I use. And Kyle says, there's a tree that has over 40 different fruits on it on one tree by grafting. Peter says, are you going to stain that fence? What are the ideas for that? I'm going to, I've got an air sprayer. I'm going to paint it white. So I gotta finish cleaning it up right now. Right now it's not level. I got to level off the posts. I bought a bunch of lights, solar lights to go around it. Right in front of me here, oh boy, I'm zoomed in. Right here is going to be the gate. I'm going to put a big gate with like a roof, peaked roof right here, leading out to the raspberry orchard in the other garden. I'll put another gate, just a man gate over there. But like I still got to put another row of boards all the way around the top there. Build the 2 gates, cut like these supporting posts, cut them all level, and then I will paint it all white. That's the plan. Kind of like your, not picket, but white picket fence, white farm fence. That's the plan, Stan. Kyle says, juicy deer around your house? And then Kyle retracted it. We do have deer that come by the house. They don't come immediately to the farm because I have so many animals, but in the back field over there, so right there is a cow. Right there's a cow. Over around the bend, I shot 2 deer in the fall. So the fence, if I was trying to protect these apple trees from deer, I'd have to go about 6 or 7 feet tall with the fence. Honestly, I'm not even bothering because my dog chases the deer away. I've never seen a deer in my driveway. I only see them in the back field when I bait them in. I'm only really trying to protect these trees from my goats and cow. The goats and cows are more what I'm concerned about than the deer. So I only went about 4 feet with the fence. Heather says a row of trees or cedar hedges far enough away to not have issues. You mentioned though, does make great snow breaks. That is a good idea. Okay, we are going to turn this water off, come back here, put the, maybe I could do it. I'm just gonna get wet. I know what we're gonna do. in order to try to hold the water in here a little bit better, we're gonna throw this guy on here. We're just gonna pinch this off so I don't get totally soaked. Oh boy, we didn't do a good enough job. I don't want to kink the hose. It's raining. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was a poor execution, but it worked. Okay, we'll set that down. We'll go turn this all off. And then I'm going to answer any last second questions. We're going to go see one last hi to the goats. We'll answer any last questions before we wrap this stream up. So bear with me. You know what I did, guys? You see how over there, that board is broken right there? That one there. I went to jump the fence because I have not built a gate yet. I went to jump the fence and the bottom board broke while I was half over the fence. And I almost neutered myself. So let's be very careful climbing over. That board snapped and my whole body weight came crashing down on the top board, and it's only a 1x6. It's only a 1x6, and so it was a lot of pressure, a lot of weight right onto my groin area. It just missed by this much, but my whole inner thigh was purple for like a week. It was awful. So this is my plan here, guys. I'm gonna put a nice, oh boy, I'm zoomed way in. So right here is gonna be a nice peaked roof gate. So that'll be wide enough. I'll probably keep it about 6 feet wide. So I'll come in a foot, forward, back. So I'll come in about a foot and it'll be big enough to drive my riding lawnmower right in. So that'll be a nice, beautiful thing. Then you got this nice trail here, walking all the way through here. This is raspberries. This is mostly raspberries in here. And so you can walk through the raspberry orchard. And I've caught a few trails in here to try to A, thin it out, and B, allow me to walk around and harvest more. But then you'll walk all the way through here. And then straight in front will be another fenced area next year. And it'll also have a gate. And that'll be the garden. And so then the apple orchard and the garden will kind of be side by side. I've been storing my manure over here. And you know what's fascinating, guys? Okay, so you see how tall everything grows right over here? And then you see how tall this is? This is because I dumped a bunch of compost over here and I forgot to stir it up. And everything is growing so much bigger and darker and more lush where the compost was compared to right beside it on either side. So that pile there was a pile like this from last year that I didn't come and stir up. So this is all composting. That was that. Fascinating. And what else are we saying, guys? Lily. Is there a well on the property? Yes. I drink well water. And Kyle says you almost got a homemade vasectomy. That is very true. It was very, very close. I would have been in a dragonfly just hit me in the head, and I appreciate him because he probably ate a bug right off my forehead. Heather says, and add a step on the inside of the fence until you get the gates. That would probably be wise. This is the chicken, the portable chicken coop that I've been working on for way too long. It's just every weekend something happens, man. Last weekend my generator blew up, and so I lost the whole weekend fixing that. But I'm building this out for the chickens. Right now the chickens share a space with the ducks, but I want them to have their own house. So I'm working on it. I got wheels, metal roof, work in progress. Hi goats, I'm coming to say hi to you guys before I go to bed. Goaties, come here goats. Come say hi to everyone. They are like puppies, I tell you guys. The goats are fantastic. Let's go in there with them. Hi, guys. No, I'm not letting you out right now, Mimi. I already milked. I already milked you. Bass, what's up? Milano says, I hope you success, but it's 3:09 a.m. I need to sleep. Good night. Good night, Milano. I appreciate you. And Michelle says, why a peaked roof gate? Only because it's pretty. Only because it's pretty. There's no other reason other than it would be pretty. Bah. Peter says, just remember the pH balance is high, especially with cow manure. Yes. Yeah. With that's why I'm composting it, not so with rabbits and even goat, it is what do they call it? I don't think they call it cold manure, but rabbit and goat manure you can apply straight to your plants, but cows it's considered hot manure, and you need to let it cool, you need to let it compost, you need to let it break down. So you don't want to surface dress with that, but rabbits is safe to just surface dress your plants. So when I'm cleaning out the rabbit area, I'll just take some of that and throw that right onto the apple trees. But yeah, you can't do that with the cow manure. It is too nitrogen rich, too high of a pH, and it needs to break down before you can do that. Kyle says, well, as your boys get older, you'll have more help, so that is good. TH Outdoor says, do you bale your own hay? No, I don't. I don't. I probably could, but I let the animals graze the fields. The back field, I could probably hay, but it requires a lot of equipment. And yeah, as of right now, I just let the animals graze and I import my hay. I just buy it by the trailer load and have it delivered to the property. Sometimes I'll travel and go get some if I'm in an area that has some. But otherwise, you got to import it in. Peter says, can your wife make goat cheese to sell? Legally up here in Canada, we're not allowed. You're not allowed to sell dairy products without having a dairy license. The only loophole is if you're selling unpasteurized milk labeled not for human consumption. So if you wanted to advertise it for like pigs or dogs or cats, then it's kind of a loophole, as long as you have labeling that explicitly says not for human consumption. But the only real thing you can do with milk for resale up here in Canada is turn it into soap and candles. That's all you can use milk for resale. You know, it is what it is. The rules are pretty strict up here. And the sky is so pretty. It is so pretty, especially with a cow in the background. Kyle says, every time you turn, it's like another beautiful view. This is one of my favorite views on the homestead. I know the lake is beautiful. The lake is fantastic, but like that is just such a beautiful sunset. Every day we get this beautiful sunset. I really can't complain out here. Heather says, I saw a lady that built a movable one by using plastic pipes, a movable chicken coop by using plastic pipes, and they just pick up the edges and move it every few feet every day, and the chickens stay free range and the area stays clean. That is kind of the idea here. I do let the chickens free range in the yard, but for overnighting, I plan to put them in there and do exactly that. Move it every other day, and that way their yard stays nice for overnighting. Got some sort of bird just circling around. But yeah, it's a good idea. And duck poop is amazing manure. And goat milk soap is amazing too. I probably will make soap in the future, but one of the main ways people do soap is with lye. And I guess lye is a pretty dangerous chemical. So I got to think about that. Michelle, welcome back, Michelle. How did you grow up? Similar to this lifestyle or traditional? I grew up at the city life, watching TV, playing video games. I was active in sports. I grew up always playing hockey. Grew up skating since I was 3 years old. I was in track and field. I liked me some Halo 3 video games, some Xbox 360. Yeah, I didn't live this lifestyle at all. In fact, fun story that my wife probably doesn't like me telling is when I was in high school, I was dating a girl who was astronomically wealthy. Like her family was big money. And towards the end of high school, she was telling me how out of nowhere she decided, and she had the kind of money to do this. She decided she wanted to be a farmer out of nowhere. And she was a 5 foot nothing, small girl. She wanted to be a farmer one day, and she told me, she said, "Hey, when we graduate high school, we're gonna go become farmers." And I said to her, like, I was already accepted to university for civil engineering. I was like, I am not gonna not go to university and become a farmer. I'm like, that's not happening. I'm a city boy. But I, it was a bit of a fight, but I ignored it. We fought a little bit. I said, it's not gonna happen. So why am I fighting? So I gave up. About a month later, she tells me, it's happening. And I'm like, what's happening? She said, my daddy bought us a farm. And I was like, no. Anyway, turned into a big fight. Ended up, the relationship did not end up working out. I was not down for that. I just wasn't at that stage in my life. And I don't think she knew what she was getting into. She never ended up becoming a farmer. They had the farm. It is what it is. But it is ironic that you fast forward 20 years and here I am farming. But, this is what I tell people. If you have aspirations to do this, but your spouse, your significant other, your partner does not, give it time. Let them think about it. Don't rush into it. Because if one person really wants to do this and the other doesn't, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to have a good relationship. This is a team effort. It requires two people. It requires a lot of time, a lot of resource. There's a lot of emotions involved. There's a lot of joy. You got birth of new animals. There's a lot of sadness. You got the death of animals. And so, this is a team effort, and you can't force someone into a team effort. So my advice is if you want to do it and your spouse doesn't want to do it, don't make them. But let them stew on it. Let them think about it. Maybe they'll come around one day, and start small. Don't jump right into cows and goats and chickens and ducks and rabbits and cows. It can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. It's a lot of work. So don't jump right into it. Give it time. Start with something like one animal. Start with goats or start with chickens, but don't jump right into it. Anyone have any questions, concerns? Anyone have anything they want to say about that? I'll catch up with the comments while we stare at a cow. And TH Outdoors says, what does goat milk taste like? It all depends. So these are milk goats. So these are meat goats. These are pygmy goats. They're bred for meat. They are not known for having very good tasty milk, but their milk's not bad. They just don't have a lot of it. These ones are mini Nubians, and they have super creamy milk. It's like drinking coffee creamer. It's like 8% cream. It's super tasty, super sweet, very, very good milk. And because they're mixed with a Nubian goat, like you'll see, she's a lot bigger than her. Her milk is fan-freaking-tastic. Now these guys are Alpine Toggenburgs, and they are bred, they're full-size goats, and they're bred to have lots of milk. But it's more like a 0% or a 1%. So their milk is nowhere near as tasty as, say, her milk, but there's way more of it. You're gonna get like 4 liters a gallon off of her. You're gonna get like 1 liter, 2 liters off of her. You're gonna get like half a liter off of her. And so each one is kind of bred for different purposes, if that makes sense. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Peter says, have you ever had an airplane that lands on the water for people that like to sightsee? Not on my property or not in my bay, but there is a lake connected to my lake where people will land planes, just not on my lake. At least I've never seen it happen. What are you doing, Noe? Michelle says, how did you know how to do all this stuff? A lot of it is really intuitive. You got to put the work in. You got to do your homework. But a lot of taking care of the animals is pretty intuitive. You just learn as you go. If you learn something every day, it becomes not that overwhelming. Kyle says, I think that's what's wrong with society. More people need to do what you're doing and stop chasing the mighty dollar. Jeff VQ says, hi. Heather says, depends on what they eat too. Michelle says, 8% V. Do you water down the milk? I don't, but what I do want to start doing is mixing Faye's milk with Mimi's milk. So I'll mix her milk with the other one to get somewhere in the lower 2-3% fat content. But I mean, drinking the 8% does taste delicious. Not gonna lie. Hi guys. Oh, careful, careful, Gabby. Maple, are you okay? You almost got stomped. Hey, little Maple. And Peter says, my grandparent, oh, I lost that one. Peter retracted the message. He said, nah, TMI, too much information. I don't know what you're saying, Peter, but I'm sure it was good. Well, guys, I'm going to give Peter one more chance to rephrase whatever he was just about to talk to. And then I think we got to end this. We got to go inside. The bugs are coming out. The sun is setting. It's beautiful, but I am tired. I appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic. I hope you guys all have a good night. Oreo. Hi, Oreo. Hey, girl. Hi. Hi. I know. Oreo gets a little bullied by this one. This one intentionally chases her away from me. Faye. Oreo gets attention too. You're not the only one who gets pets in love. Heather says, that's what I was going to say. Mixing the milk together gets a middle of the road level of milk. Kyle says, do you think you'll ever get a bull to breed the cows? Kyle, I did have a bull. I had a bull for a year and a half, but he got really aggressive with me, and so I ate him. Hey, girl. And TH Outdoors says, I like your new profile picture. Thank you. Thank you. I did mix it up. We're always experimenting, always trying new things. And, you know, like I said, this channel has evolved. When I started this channel 2 years ago, we didn't have the Homestead. Like, we were just getting the Homestead. And I named the channel My Wild Life because I love being out in the wildlife, out hunting, fishing. But the homesteading thing wasn't really fully planned. And so I thought, you know what, let's change the logo from a deer to the farm animals, because we obviously spend a lot of time with the farm animals. And so it just fits the channel more. And so, yes, thank you for noticing and thank you for commenting. And Peter says, my grandparents and my family knew of a family that had a dairy farm in Michigan. And Michelle says, go cuddle your wifey. Heather says, night, put your feet up, have a well-deserved tea. Heather, I'm going to do that. And Heather says, insemination won't have the dangerous of a bull. You know what I did? So instead of doing AI, I tried. My wife tried. She tried to find AI, but we live so far up north here that nobody was willing to come all the way up here and do it. And then there's also a little bit of a barrier. When you're small like this as a homestead, the artificial insemination community, at least in this kind of area, is super protective. They don't want to allow your cow to get their sample unless you have papers for your cow. And my cows are not documented. They're illegal immigrants. So I sympathize with the illegal immigrants in America because that's my cows. But they wouldn't do it. They would not do it. We couldn't get a sample. So instead, though, I was able to board my cow with another farmer, and I left her there for a month, and she bred with their bull. So in about 8.5 more months, we should have a baby cow. So that is the goal here. Now, I'm not going to try to pay a vet to come all the way down here and check her. I'm just going to cross my fingers, do a prayer, and hope that she did, in fact, conceive. It's not as straightforward as you'd think. It's pretty hard to tell. Even for a vet, there is no external check. They have to do an internal ultrasound. And yeah, I'm not about to do that. Tommy says, illegal immigrant cows. We've got a message held up for review. That's, I'll show that. And Heather says, reach out to the Mennonites for sperm. Maybe next time. I think she's bred for now, though, so I think we're okay. Well, guys, I'm going to end this stream. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go make a tea and sit down with the wifey. So I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for another awesome chat. Take care of yourselves. Peter says, is that cow a dairy cow or not? No, she's a Black Angus. She is a Black Angus, which is a meat cow. So she is bred to have meat babies. Heather says, you can get a Doppler through to check for heartbeats. I'm pretty sure that's internal though, isn't it, Heather? We'll talk about this next time. Thank you, and I appreciate you guys.